It's a giant sports center, not just some kind of small gym. And also, this is a primary school. You can see that they ski in this school and do it on a professional level. The view of the mountains is everywhere. I want a terrace like this.
Summer, we do like the marshmallows, which they love.
It must be like a family here. You have to tidy up your table, clean it from clutter.
We do actually have interest from local students as well.
We go to Italy very often, we go to France very often.
Not only do you get education and knowledge, you get all this. The school's buildings are all over the area. We've been to the primary and the secondary school. This area is for primary school and sports facilities. It's a large territory. The sports center is the biggest one around. So it's not in single use, it's shared with the locals who live nearby. We are at the sports center. It's giant and not some small gym. Completely covered basketball courts, mini football pitches, a rock climbing wall. Also, I'm gonna show you kids doing gymnastics and acrobatics.
A lot of other schools who compete against us come here and we do competitions here for all different types of sports activities, because you can see we've got basketball, nets and so forth, but you'll see that the netball and whatnot.
It is also a primary school. As you can see, it has a giant dining room and in it a stage like a theater. It looks like they're preparing for some kind of play here, and here's the exit to the pitches I've just filmed. It's great that the building is on top of a separate elevation. There is a lot of space. These are great conditions for sports. It's a big dining room. It's not the only one. Kids can also eat at their boarding houses. And the primary and the secondary schools building where we've just been also has their own dining room.
C'est mieux si je parque là? I'm just going to park here.
Absolutely.
We've arrived at the boarding house. It was just a 5-minute ride, and this is what it looks like. A nice big modern building, a football pitch and a basketball court are right next to the boarding house. That's in addition to the sports facilities that we've already seen.
How many kids live in boarding right now?
So currently we have around 16 students that are boarding in the school. Currently have the capacity of 30. Very good, ambassador.
The school is managed by a family, and their policies such that it should be like a family here. The teachers are equals to the students. You talk to them and to your peers the same way you talk to your mom, dad, or brother. Kids don't call teachers Mr. or Mrs. as is typical in many schools. Like everybody calls each other by their name. Just Igor, Nikolai, Dasha. You won't find that in most schools. A very cool room. It's split into several separate zones. Of course, some games. Look at this lighting gear. Some type of fancy lamp. The view of the mountains is everywhere. There is also a terrace, which we'll be seeing soon. We'll take a look. Here's a gaming and movie watching zone. That's cool. And also a piano.
We have a lot of kids actually play piano and they're very good at it, and sometimes they stay here practicing it. But we also use it for private lessons. Some students have private lessons. The teacher comes to the house so they can they have a private lesson. Not just piano, we also have cello.
A room for many sorts of activities, so that kids don't get bored. And here, let's see if this door opens. Yeah, it does. And it's an exit to another room. Look how amazing it is. Awesome. I want a terrace like this.
And then we have the outside, obviously. Which the outside, we do a lot of things during the summer. We do like the marshmallows, which they love. They like to come out. Sometimes we eat dinner here with these tables when it's hot.
How often do they eat?
They have breakfast here with us, they have lunch in school, and then they have dinner with us here again. But usually in the afternoon we do some snacks. Either we cooked, or we have toast and jam, or we cook like a cake, or brownies, or cookies. We have Chinese, Japanese, we have Mexican, we have Russian, Belarus, German, Brazilian, Mozambique, Swiss, Polish, French.
Where are you coming from?
I'm from Japan.
And what do you think of the Switzerland?
Oh, I really like it. Because it's an international school, so I really like it. So I was in 2 different schools in Switzerland before. It's much smaller. The boarding is much smaller, so I really like it. Yeah, it's easy for me to be friends with people.
And do you have friends here in the boarding?
Yes, I do. They're from China and I think Russia and other countries.
What do you do here after studying?
We basically have free time, so you can take showers or stuff like that, and from 7 p.m. we have dinner, and then from 7:45 we have study time.
We're in the study room, which is in the boarding house. Yeah, the boarding house also has rooms where kids can study and get some additional help.
So we're actually in the homework room. And what ages come here?
So we have our youngest, it's 11, so it comes from 11 till they are 14, and then the older ones from 15 to 17, 18, we trust them enough, and they are old enough to do it in their rooms.
And so they get together, and how are they looked after in terms of getting their homework done? Who's actually helping them?
Okay, so usually it's either one of us from the boarding staff. We have something called managed pack, which we can have access to it and see what do they have to do. We check on ManageBack, we check with them what they have to do. Sometimes they say, well, I prefer to study for a test and do homework for the next 2 days, so like that's completely fine. Also, what is happening in school is a lot of them have their personal projects, they have their projects with some at the same time, especially the 13 and 14 years old, which sometimes is very nice to see them helping each other and taking notes and helping with questions, and it's very nice. So they come down from 7:45 to 9, they do their study. Obviously, they're of course, sometimes they stay behind to finish it after 9, which is perfect fine.
And last but not least, I understand that something that's really important is before they go to bed, they hand in their device.
Yes. So at 9:45, 9:50, they come down and hand their electronics, all of it, phones, laptops, iPads. I don't know if you saw in the office, they have like little cabinets with their names.
Yes.
And they handed it in. IBs, they are allowed to keep
International baccalaureates, right.
They are allowed to keep it, so because we trust them, they're
Yes.
old enough to organize themselves, so they can keep it.
There is a list of things you must do before leaving your room. Every student has it on their door. Before leaving, you have to make your bed, tidy up your table, clean it from clutter, hang the towel, turn off the lights. So before going to your classes, you must clean up your room, leave it absolutely perfect. Every student must do this before leaving for school. Some of the personnel are always at the boarding house. Also, if somebody gets sick, there is a special separate room where they get transferred until they get well, not to infect anybody.
We do actually have interest from local students as well. Even though they're based in Switzerland, their family's based in Switzerland, either the parents are based internationally, but they're Swiss and they're just doing an international assignment outside of Switzerland, but they want their child to come to Switzerland and do their academics here, or they're local Swiss children and the parents have heard of HAUT LAC and have seen the programs that we offer, but they're probably based in Zurich or in another canton, and they do have the funds to actually send them to boarding because they want them to be able to have a smooth routine, because we do have two styles of boarding. We have a full boarding, which is including weekends, or we do actually have a week boarding, which is they come in on a Sunday evening and then they probably leave to go to cousin's place or the parents' place on a Friday evening.
And here at the boarding house, you can see that they ski in the school, and they do it on a professional level, as this ski rack obviously suggests here. And over there we've got the boots, ski boots, and the change rooms to hop into your skiing gear. Someone left their snowboard.
We do skiing right now because since it's winter, but like sometimes.
Do you have your skis down there?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah, and how often do you ski?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday?
Yes.
First term, when we come back, we still do summer activities. We do paddleboarding, we do swimming in the lake, swimming pool, and then we transition to the winter activity. We go to Italy very often, we go to France very often, and then the second term comes, and it's where the big activities happens. We have skiing, which they go every Wednesday and every Saturday, and if they really want to go again, we can go on a Sunday. And then again on the third term, we go back to cultural stuff. But sometimes if there's a long weekend, we try to go away. Also this term, we're going away for a weekend for the chalet in France, which they're very excited about. First term, we also went to Milan for a weekend, which they loved.
Have discovered this year we have a very specific summer camp, including boarding as well. But there are two different types of camps. One is an English-French camp where the students actually in the morning do English or French, and then in the afternoons they do activities, local activities, but a lot of sports activities as well. And then we've also got the mountains as well, so they do reach the mountains, do a bit of hiking as well. And then the second camp is actually our leadership camp, which is in English. However, as you can see, it's very specific on building better leaders.
Another thing I want to show you, there's a castle that I can see from over here, and there's also a church, and behind the castle, the mountains. It's cloudy today, so we can't see their beauty in their full glory that they have here, but you can imagine how amazing it is in sunny weather. Lausanne is nearby with its rich culture and museums, and then there is also Montreux. I highly recommend taking a boat cruise on the Lake Geneva. There I have one of the oldest fleets with boats dating back to 1910. That's Titanic age. They are completely restored and shuttle regularly to Geneva. It's really cool, very beautiful, great experience. Looking at the opportunities and choices that students have here, it's simply incredible. Not only do you get education and knowledge, you get all this. I think it's a great fortune. I got a bit lyrical here.